Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of congregational humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you so much for being here with us this morning at First Unitarian Society. My name is Mike Fossage. I'm the music director here, and I just wanted to take a quick second to introduce to you our stellar guest musicians for this morning. So we have Shane Cox on sousaphone and his Funky Spuds Brass Band. So hey, all right. So they're going to be playing a couple numbers today, and the band is Shane Cox on the sousaphone, Pete Sutman on the drums, Gus Sandberg on the tenor sax, and we have Josh May on the trumpet and Matt Henselka on the trombone. So thank you again for being here this morning, and they're going to start us off with some music.
Oh my goodness, what a way to start. Make a joyful noise, right? Thank you, Funky Spuds. Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis on this official start to our program year, this being Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Today we celebrate our annual ingathering, our coming together with our beloved water ceremony, and all ages are together today so that we can be one whole, loving community together. One reason we show up here is because it is so good, so healing and hopeful to be together in and among from the many places from which we are joining. As we begin, may those of us who are newcomers to this land be mindful that we live and work and play on the traditional lands of the Native people who have been here for millennia. Here at FUS, we are on Dakota Oyate territory, and it is the Dakota, as well as Ojibwa and other indigenous people, who have cared for the land and the lakes and the Wakpatanka, the Mississippi River, for thousands of years before the arrival of Europeans. And we live in gratitude for all the beautiful indigenous teachings about the water, Nibi. May we recognize with humility the privilege we are afforded by living in this beautiful place. First Unitarian Society is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. Our programming is on-site live and online live and on demand 24/7. My name is Reverend Jullan Stoneberg, joining you on your ongoing journey now in the second year of this interim period. Whoever you are, wherever you are from, whomever you love, whatever it is you do or have done, you are welcome here. You're welcome to this time, to this space, this moment that we intentionally carve out to be together, to focus, to remind ourselves of what matters in the midst of whatever chaos and confusion and tragedy swirls about. We show up because it matters that we're together. So now, wherever you are, if you will, let's take a moment to greet the day and welcome one another and to simply acknowledge one another's presence, including those online who will see you if you wave to that camera. So please greet one another. Again, welcome everyone to this place of love and justice, this place where we attempt to live up to humanity's highest ideals and highest hopes. And I'm so happy that you chose to show up to help launch this community into an exciting and possibility-filled year ahead. And here are a few words from our UUA president, the Reverend Dr. Sophia Bettencourt.
Greetings, beloveds. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sophia Bettencourt, and it remains my privilege to serve as president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. As we gather at the beginning of a new congregational year, we know that our shared ministries unfold in challenging and complex times. Yet we also know that our tradition teaches that love's reach is expansive enough to include everyone, that no one is excluded from worth and dignity, and that this love that we put at the center of our faith has the power to overcome the fear that silences and stills us. As my colleague C.B. Beale has said, we must be intentional about moving fear out of the center and replacing it with love over and over again, as often as is necessary. May we continue to do this work of centering love across our faith and in our own communities, and in all that this congregational year may bring. May we lift one another up as we continue to meet this moment together.
Yes, indeed, love's reach is expansive enough to include everyone. And as C.B. Beale said, we must be intentional about moving fear out of the center and replacing it with love over and over and over again. My colleague of beloved memory, the Reverend Dr. Hope Johnson, wrote these words: "We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits, here not by coincidence, but because we choose to journey together. We are active and proactive. We care deeply. We live our love as best we can. We are one, working, eating, laughing, playing, singing, storytelling, sharing, and rejoicing, getting to know each other, taking risks, opening up, questioning, seeking, searching, trying to understand, struggling, making mistakes, paying attention, asking questions, listening, living our answers, learning to love our neighbors, learning to love ourselves, apologizing and forgiving with humility, being forgiven through grace, creating the beloved community together. We are one." We light a flame here and ask those of you at home to do the same. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We're led by its light, inspired by its flame, and drawn together by its warmth. As Larissa and Zola come to light the chalice, please join me in reading the words on the screen, which are a reprisal of the opening words, "One Love." We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits. We choose to journey together, creating the beloved community together. We are one. Thank you. And now that our chalice is lit, I invite you, as you're willing and able, to stand to read a different congregational affirmation, could be called a covenant, from the one we usually read. This one was written by Lucas Hergert, and after, please remain standing to sing. Love is the doctrine of this place. Our faith in each other is its sacrament. Working for justice and living with compassion is its prayer. Reverently, we covenant together to side with love, to heal and not to harm, and to share hope with each other and with the world. And now we sing, Gather the Spirit. It's number 347 in the Grace Songbook, but the words are also on the screen. Sing.
All the same.
think the stand over there. I'll try to get you one.
But hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Zola Rosenfeld. I'm the education director here at First Unitarian Society, and I'm very excited to begin my second year with all of you here. Thank you. Claps to everybody, because it was a busy year last year and we did a lot, and it's going to be busy this year too, and we're going to do a lot more. Here, give me one moment. Thank you for bearing with us. Okay, so next week, I think, is still technically summer, whatever. We're going to call it the final summer Sunday for all of us, where we're going to parks before Ethical Explorers is coming back this month on the 21st. If you are signed up for our family programming newsletter, you can check that, as well as weekly updates that are going to be coming out with information about OWL, Coming of Age, NE Squared. That will also be on our website. And today, I wanted to let people know, this is a little announcement, early of the rest of the announcements. Youth of early reading age, we have an opportunity for you, and we could use your help. The Seasonal Celebrations team has some poems that can be read for the Intergenerational Fall Equinox program later this month. And we have a rehearsal today and next Sunday after a mini meal in the circle room up here. It's from 12:15 to 1. I will be there. You can contact Audrey Kingstrom for more information, or just show up. Now, I have some bridging words. Just as a drop of water easily becomes part of a pond or river or ocean, today's water ceremony reminds us that every drop belongs and that every drop is needed in order to build a place where everyone belongs and feels at home. Our theme for this month is building belonging. And while there's no water specifically in the story I'm about to share, there is building in a way that includes everyone. This is the story Everybody's Welcome by Patricia Hegarty. In a forest clearing, there is a little mouse dreaming of the future in a great big happy house. Suddenly, a frog appears with a sorry tale of woe. My pond, my home is all dried up. I have no place to go. Froggy, don't worry. You can stick with me. Everything will be all right. Just you wait and see. Let's build a home together. We'll make it big and strong, and once we get started, you won't be sad for long. Everybody is welcome, no matter who they are, wherever they may come from, whether near or far. Please help us, cry the rabbits. We've had an awful scare. An eagle chased us from our home. Do you have room to spare? Everybody's welcome. If you need a place to hide, come and help us build this house. You'll all be safe inside. Some of us can form a chain and all work as a team. We'll build a shelter, stick by stick, following our dream. I'm all alone, cries Big Brown Bear with teardrops in his eyes. I frighten other people off because of my great size. Come along and join us, Bear. A great big guy like you is just what we've been missing. There's so much you can do. Everybody's welcome, and all can play their part. Just look at Big Brown Bear. He's already made a start. Flapping and a fluttering, a flock of birds arrive. Someone chopped our tree down. How will we all survive? If we all work together, no task is too great, even if some helpers arrive a little late. Sorry I'm late. And the news will soon spread for miles around of what we are building, a home safe and sound. As the rain clouds gather in a dark and stormy sky, the animals keep building a roof to keep them dry. When our house is ready and everything's complete, we'll all live here together and life will be so sweet. Our home will be so happy, we'll fill it up with song. Everyone who lives here will know that they belong. The end.
Good morning. First Unitarian Society is a congregational humanist community. Like the animals in this story we just heard, we are here for each other, our neighbors, and our planet, especially in times of need. Together we build belonging. My name is John Welsh, and I'm a member of our care team. We're here for you. This morning's water ritual symbolizes the dual realities of joy and sorrow, knowing that sometimes we are the ones who need support, and sometimes we are the ones able to help. If at any time there's something happening in your life that you'd like to share with the care team or with this community, or if you need some support, please call the FUS office or send a note to joysandconcerns@firstunitarian.org. You can also be in touch with us using the contact form on our website. This morning I share the joy that 2 days ago on September 5th, Lena celebrated 2 months since she moved into her apartment. She's very happy and likes hanging out with the people she has met since she moved in. We continue to hold in our hearts the whole church community at Annunciation Catholic Church and School. There's a card at the card basket downstairs for all to sign. We also are mindful of the thousands of people who lost their homes and loved ones in the recent earthquake in Afghanistan. Love is at the center of this faith. In the continuing moments of silence, let's reflect on all the joys, losses, griefs, and milestones in our lives, in the lives of those we love, and in the lives of all beings everywhere. A moment of silence.
We journey alone, yet always together, carrying life stories both uniquely personal and surprisingly universal. Unitarian Universalists mark this reality with 2 annual celebrations. At the end of each program year, we have our flower celebration, where we bring flowers together, and then each of us taking a flower from the bouquet we created together. From there, we go out into the world and into the summer. And at the beginning of each program year, we have our water ceremony, in which we bring water to symbolically join our individual lives with the wholeness of shared community. So this morning, we gather to participate in ritual, bringing our tears for the world, holding each other in our confusion and despair, and bringing healing energy to every corner where our love can reach. In taking part in this ritual, we confirm our choice to be part of this collective effort to provide port and sanctuary for ourselves and others, to claim sacred space from which to launch our social justice efforts, and to build safe spaces where all can belong and grow and thrive. In such troubling times, all of this becomes increasingly vital, and this is why we show up. So whether from the lakes of Minnesota or the oceans of the world, from time alone and time in company, from protesting on the streets or quietly supporting refugees, from hard work and duties, from seasons of loss and sadness, from family time, from quiet times of contemplation, from far-flung adventures, we come to this ritual. This morning's ceremony asks you to consider 2 things. First, what tears do you bring? And then, what healing waters do you carry? The ceremony will happen in 2 movements, the first for those tears, and the second for our healing energy. 2 times when you'll be invited to participate by coming to our common well. And I have a few instructions to guide you. When the invitation is given to bring water, if possible, it would be best to approach from the far sides. If you brought water with you, you might like to use only a portion of it during the first movement so that you have some left for the second. If you didn't bring water, there are on the tall tables at the front sides small glasses where you can pick up some water to bring to the common well and then return those glasses to the table for someone else to use. Or you can choose to use one of the pitchers that's provided at the front from which to pour water. And if you'd like to participate from your seat, as we go through the ritual, please raise your hand and Molly or Julie will come to you with water. And if you're with us via live stream, you can participate too. Watch for instructions in the chat, which you can access by joining through YouTube, which means that if you're just on our live stream page, you might want to click through on the link to switch to YouTube, and that link is at the bottom left of the screen. So now, after a short musical interlude, we'll begin. This summer, these past too many months really, we have experienced a lot of trauma. You know, the world is burning, literally and figuratively. There's really no reason for me to try to list everything because that list is really, really long, and because you were here for all of it. You know. Rosemary Watola Tromer is my chosen poet laureate for this morning's assembly. Perhaps she said it best in this poem called "Those of Us Who Choose to Turn Toward Grief." Somehow we find each other through our gathering. Though our gathering doesn't fix or change the loss, there is tenderness, even beauty, in coming together. I have read in Switzerland it's illegal to own just one guinea pig because it's considered animal abuse because they're social beings. We too are social beings. Perhaps we don't sniff and nudge and squeak and rumble and strut, but we cradle, we hum, we hold, we whisper soft encouragement, light candles, offer tissues, hug. There are times when I deeply need to be alone with my grief, and even then, curled into myself, quiet in a quiet, dark room, even then, I am held by the certainty that I am not alone. What a gift we give to ourselves and to each other when in our grief we enter the circle of those who grieve and meet each other with open hands and say, "I see you, brother. I see you, sister. I see you, my siblings. I know it isn't easy. Here I am." You know, it's said that we cannot begin to heal if we are unwilling or unable to name and face what it is that hurts. In this first part of our water ritual, as music plays, you're invited to bring your tears for the hurt of the world to this altar of communal healing, this pool of gathered water. Tears of grief, of anger, of frustration. The water you bring now represents your tears for all the pain in the world, all the hurt that you're carrying as individuals and as a people. As you approach, you may quietly share a particular reason for your tears with Phil or with Shelley, and they will repeat it into the microphone so that we can all be present to the pain and the suffering that you're carrying that surrounds us. And that way we can let it wash over us, knowing that together we can hold it in love. And as you do this, I will add some salt to acknowledge the stinging pain we feel. So let us begin. Come.
authoritarianism.
Strained relations with family.
Tears for everyone affected by the violence in our nation.
Anything you'd like to share?
Tears for all of the world's refugees.
The republic we try to keep. Is there anything you'd like to share, Kathleen?
All of the children in our neighborhoods affected by the shooting at Annunciation. Our nephew, Ben.
Good morning. Anything you want to share?
For the people of Gaza and Ukraine.
For people in all the war-torn areas of the world.
For my sister who died of COVID.
Anything you want to share? Okay.
For Vivian.
Vulnerability, lies, and separation.
For the vulnerability of immigrants.
For Melissa Hortman.
Our precious and beautiful earth.
For people who don't feel life is worth living.
For my mom, who died a year ago this month. For the healthcare workers traumatized by the Annunciation shooting.
Our family members' challenges with mental illness.
Shed tears for darkness and ignorance.
For Griffin.
For animals.
My mother's pain. For your mother's pain.
For those who are lonely.
For my mother's pain.
For the immunocompromised. Loss of children to gun violence. May Ruth's daughter know health. For Alex. Shedding tears for public violence done by individuals. From our online community, shedding tears for Annunciation, shedding tears for a friend whose son is on drugs. Shedding tears for those suffering from dementia. Shedding tears for everyone who is hurt.
For the needs of all those who are struggling to get by.
Recently, the poet Rosemary Wotala Trummer facilitated a retreat that began with asking the participants to sing or chant some short poems. One of those short poems was something Trummer had written, and it was added to by others at the retreat, so that then it became a song, or if you prefer, a longer poem. It was shared among UU ministers, one of whom was at the retreat, and Rev Jullan shared it with me, and now I share it with you. Perhaps you'll hear a tune in the words. The whole world is burning, and the only way to bring it water is the bucket of you. The whole world is burning, and the only way to bring it water is the bucket of you. You may only have a cup, you may only have a teaspoon, you may only have a tear. That's okay. Bring them all to this bucket right here. The whole world is burning, and the only way to bring it water is the bucket of us. The whole world is burning, and the only way to bring it water is the bucket of us. The bucket of us.
When I was in my first year of university, I joined a J-term trip to Europe for a study of the arts. Our first stop was London, and we stayed in an old, very charming walk-up hotel. And we had quite a few chuckles about the fire buckets in the hallways. They were quaint, and they were a bit terrifying. I still remember imagining the possibility of a fire emergency and how we might use those buckets. I mean, where would we even get the water? And could we fill the buckets fast enough? Were there even enough buckets? And how would we possibly know what to do? And if there was to be comfort for these imaginings, it was that I was with a group of friends. Strong, capable, smart friends, and I could trust that somehow we would figure it out together. We show up in order to be together, to not be alone. I expect that were I to ask any of you why you show up here, at least some part of your answer would be about being part of a community. So I'm not saying anything new or profound. You show up here because of each other. But why? To what end? I think imagining ourselves as individual buckets of water that can fight a world on fire is a helpful metaphor for these times. And yet, of course, while we each have the potential to pour out all of who we are in order to bring about peace and safety and justice, a fire brigade, an endless string of companions lined up shoulder to shoulder, pouring out bucket after bucket, a fire brigade increases exponentially the possibility of changing and healing the world. The presence of others who are pulling in the same direction, who have similar visions for the future, who are willing to be in the struggle for justice, the presence of others is healing and restorative and comforting. Of course, sometimes frustrating, but ultimately, our connections are life-giving and powerful. We show up to be in the presence of like hearts, and we show up to be a presence for others. Because, well, you know, if we didn't, a beloved community simply couldn't exist. The beloved community takes all of us showing up for all of us. It takes the bucket of you to create a bucket of us. I know how easy it is to think that it doesn't matter if we're here, that no one will notice our absence. And yet, it does matter. If we're not here or at a protest or making phone calls, then we're not contributing to that bucket brigade. For everyone who doesn't show up, you know, there's a gap in the line, places where those unique gifts and energy are missing, which requires someone else to do more and to be more, and the work gets harder, and maybe the fire even gets out of control. You know, you've probably been in something like a bucket brigade at some point in your life, shuttling moving boxes or loading supplies or passing building materials or filling sandbags. And so we all know that it's easier when there's a full crew, when every step, when every piece of that line is covered, when the distance between us is no greater than an arm's length, when there are folks who will rotate in so that we can rotate out when we're tired. Yeah, we show up because it matters that we're here, but we also show up because we need one another, not only to fight the critical fights, but for our own very survival, for sustenance, for belonging, for friendships, for joy, to be challenged, to be comforted and fortified, to get those loving human connections, and for the possibility of creating change together. We come to rant and to cry, to hold one another, to apologize and to forgive and to learn to love, to dream of a better future for the generations to come. And all of that is possible because we show up, bringing our own buckets and getting in line with others to accomplish big things. We need each other to survive. And because you are here, I believe that our mutual thriving is possible. Because all of you courageously showing up, well, that means we can do things and be things together. May our love make it so. As the Funky Spuds come back to play with us, I just want to say that this past week, as you probably all heard, President Trump proposed that the Department of Defense be renamed the Department of War, because they say words matter, and they want the United States to be seen as powerful and aggressive and ready to make war. Well, indeed, words do matter. And by my lights, peace is power, and love is the strongest thing there is. So let's sing of putting aside warring and hatred and choosing another path. Please rise in body and or spirit to sing, Gonna Lay Down My Sword and Shield, or Down by the Riverside. It's number 162 in the Gray Songbook, and the verses we're singing will be on the screen. Gonna lay down my sword and shield, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my sword and shield, down by the riverside, by the riverside. I ain't gonna study for no more, ain't gonna study for no more, ain't gonna study for no more. I ain't gonna study for no more, ain't gonna study And now we've come to the second part of our water ceremony, a time to lay down our burdens, a time to feel our connectedness, to commit to a better way, to consider how we might respond to our beautiful and brutal existence. Indeed, the only way to bring water to a burning world is the bucket that is us, our collective energy, and our fierce, abiding love. And so you're invited to come once again to this place that holds our water, this time bringing healing energy and your hopes for a better world. Once again, please share a word with Phil or Shelley describing the healing energy you want to bring, and they'll repeat it for everyone to hear. Or online, you can put something in the chat or raise your hand to participate from where you're seated. And as you do, I'm going to add a little vinegar and a little bit of sugar to ease the sting of the many tears we have cried. The sugar to remind us of the sweetness of joining hands and hearts. So let us begin. Come.
Being in community. Persistence.
A commitment to aggressive social justice.
To civility.
The music in the world.
Courage.
That all people build loving, healthy relationships.
Gender equity.
Music. Reconciliation. Compassion and strength.
Camping with community at Bearhead State Park.
For playing Uno with my nephew's family. For dancing it out.
Support Native radio stations embracing their culture.
Work. To life.
Love our differences.
Gratitude. And hope.
Truth and enlightenment.
Beauty. And hugs.
The love of dogs.
A wonderful family trip from Lake Michigan to the Hudson River.
Time on the North Shore.
The joy of effervescence. To art in all its forms.
Showing up.
Speaking the facts for those who can't.
Boating with the family.
For virtual meetings every Friday.
To my great nieces and great nephews.
To being with family and friends.
All of the peace in the world.
For cats and being useful.
To sometimes be nice, but always.
Working for bold change.
To sometimes being nice, but always being kind.
Being kind.
A musical play for immigrants.
From our online community, peace and compassion. Love. Recovery, celebrating 30 years sobriety for daughter.
To voting.
Thank you, Shelley and Phil, Julie and Molly, for helping to support this ritual. Into this container, we have poured water that represents our tears and our healing abilities, our pain and our dreams. All that we are and all that we carry is contained here. The gifts and preciousness of each and every one of you is part of this whole. Your many drops have been added to this bucket of love, and you belong here. You belong as a part of all that is. And so as we begin a new program year, pledging to go forward together in this welcoming and transformative congregation where what you and what we have to offer is exactly what is needed. May you both receive and offer sufficient healing and wisdom and love to soothe the world's woes. And may you both transform and be transformed by this congregation and by its work in the world. It's going to take all of us for sure, all of us showing up for each other. Together we find the resilience and the strength we need. So please rise in body and or spirit to sing "We Will Not Stop" by the Chapin Sisters. The words will be on the screen. Seated.
Good morning. My name is Heather Martens, and I'm chair of your Board of Trustees. We're just reminding you we are in an interim year, and when we're looking for a new minister to be called next year, we, during this interim period, we work on identifying our core purposes. And you'll see and hear messages about who we are during a marketing campaign that starts in mid-September. It's intended to reach all those people out there who are looking for a home and community during these times that are so hard. We are a community that replaces religious doctrine with thoughtful exploration, that is always finding ways to live its values of justice and inclusion and democracy. And we're here because of the deep commitment of so many people, so many of you who give of your time, your talent, and your treasure. And for a moment, I'm going to talk about the treasure part. First Unitarian is a free, independent, and self-governing humanist community. Our mission is to foster a free search for knowledge and meaning, to strive for justice, to serve one another, the Twin Cities, and beyond. The choices we make with our resources matter, so it's important that we all understand how our financial support is a crucial element in turning our shared vision of love and justice into reality. To give, you can use the QR code on the screen, which will take you to our online giving form, where you can designate how you'd like your donation used, or you can stop by the office or mail in your donation. And please feel free to reach out to us with any questions about giving to First Unitarian Society. As the baskets are passed, you're invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. Thank you.
All right, good morning. We are your ministerial search team. Yay! I'm Denise Victoria the Morellas. We have Stella Painter, Bob Adderhold, Martha Hardesty, Phil Duran, Karen Rowell, Carl Winthrop Davies, and Christine Salm, who's not able to be here today. So, here we are, okay? Basically, we're here to launch us into our ministerial search. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and now it is time to involve all of you. One of the most exciting undertakings we'll experience this program year will be the search for a new minister. This 8-member team was designated by the FUS board and you, the congregation, to lead this effort. But it's not all just us. There are 3 critical opportunities for each of you to be involved in the coming weeks, and we want your input on all 3. Number 1, we hope that you complete an anonymous survey regarding your perceptions of FUS and your priorities for a new minister. If you did not receive this email and believe you should have, please check your spam folder or contact the office to make sure you're on the email list. If you're not a member or contributing friend, please check the Friday update for this information. Paper surveys will be mailed to those for whom we do not have email addresses. The survey is an invaluable opportunity for your search team to gather information the UUA needs for this process. Number 2, in the coming weeks, your search team will be conducting a series of focus groups, asking different questions and seeking more in-depth discussions about the direction people hope this process takes. Groups will take place on weekdays and weekends, daytimes and evenings, in person and virtual. There's even one at Retreat to the Woods. We are asking you to sign up for one time slot, and we do want every single person in your household to sign up. You might have different opinions than other people in your home. This link to sign up is in the member contributor email and the Friday update. As with the survey, they will improve your search team's ability to accurately portray FUS to prospective ministerial candidates. And number 3, finally, the team will be hosting an important free workshop on equity offered by the UUA on Saturday, October 4th. Here at FUS, right here, from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. This is open to absolutely everyone and will not only help us in our search process, but will also help FUS maintain an equity lens in all of our efforts moving forward. You won't want to miss this. Breakfast is included for those in person, and while we hope as many people will join us in person as possible, there will be a virtual option available. You can follow the same sign-up link as for the focus groups. It's all in one form. There's a lot going on. We'll hope you'll be a part of it. Please visit our information table in the lower assembly hall during mini meal today and the next 2 Sundays for more information about the survey, focus groups, equity workshop, and the search process overall. We can also help people complete the survey or register for other programs if you need assistance. Thank you.
So there are lots of announcements today because of the fact that there's so much going on. So I beg your patience and your attention as well. And now Suzanne has something to share.
Greetings and happy Sunday. My name is Suzanne. I'm the membership director here. As the new program year kicks off and our marketing campaign begins, the Welcome Ambassadors and I would greatly appreciate your participation as we work to elevate our visitor experience. For example, several tables have been added to the lower assembly hall to make it easier for the new visitor table to be reserved for those visitors looking to connect during mini meal. If you are able, please consider parking a bit further away from the building to make room for the first-time visitors who may be unfamiliar with our location. A good alternative could be using the Walker Garage, which is free with a ticket until 12:30 p.m. Additionally, it would be wonderful if you said hello to a new face at coffee hour or considered joining the programming the membership committee has created for the fall. Everyone is welcome to be part of our Wednesday connection circles, dinner meetups, and Sunday morning meditations. There's a flyer describing these small groups and others at the greeter tables and the welcome tables, if you would like more information. Through these efforts, we hope to not only welcome new visitors, but to strengthen our community this year. Thanks.
Thank you, Suzanne. And we also have a special video to share about Retreat to the Woods.
It's that time of year again. Registration has started for Retreat to the Woods. Join us at beautiful Baker Outdoor Learning Center in Medina, Minnesota for a weekend of fellowship, relaxation, and renewal. You will enjoy food, hiking and biking trails, canoeing, nearby lakes, and a few interesting and varied workshops in a quiet and protected setting surrounded by 3,300 acres of marshes, meadows, and mature forest. The settlement is about 30 minutes west of Minneapolis. The site has a tenting area and 8 log cabins. Each cabin has a wood-burning stove and 8 bunk beds with mattresses. There are modern composting toilet facilities and a shower facility near the cabins, as well as full restrooms at the main lodge. Baker does not allow pets. The retreat is a family-friendly, all-volunteer event for and by members of FUS and friends. Being a communal endeavor, we ask that all attendees 13 and older contribute to its success by pitching in to do a one-time assigned task. Tasks range from 15 minutes to 1 hour in duration. In this way, we can keep costs down and all enjoy working, relaxing, and communing with one another and nature. You can register for this year's retreat now. There will be a table with information and registration forms during the mini meal today and on September 15th. Stop by with any questions and grab a registration form. You can also register and pay online on the FUS website under Events/Retreat to the Woods. Deadline for registration is September 15th. We look forward to seeing you there.
Two more quick things. The talk that was scheduled today by the featured gallery artist has had to be canceled due to illness. It will likely be rescheduled for next week, so please watch for that. And finally, do join us downstairs for our weekly mini meal, which everyone is welcome to attend. Today features a sweet and spicy Italian sausage lasagna, roasted harvest vegetables, and mixed greens with maple vinaigrette. I'd like to see you downstairs soon. So now, before we extinguish our chalice, let's hear another joyful noise from the Funky Spuds. wrap up our time together in this space as Zola and Larissa come to extinguish our chalice, please join me in speaking the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All of these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again. Our closing words were again written by the poet Rosemary Watola Trommer, who penned many other words we've used today, words that remind us that the whole world is burning and that the only way to bring it water is the bucket of us. I offer you her poem, Belonging. And if it's true we are alone together, the way blades of grass are alone but exist in a field. Sometimes I feel it, the green fuse that ignites us, the warm thrum that unites us, an inner hum that reminds us of our shared humanity. Just as 35 trillion red blood cells join in one body to become blood, just as 136,000 notes make up one symphony. Alone as we are, our small voices weave into the one big conversation. Our actions are essential to the one infinite story of what it is to be alive. When we feel alone, we belong to the grand communion of those who sometimes feel alone. We are the dust that hopes, a rising dust, a thrill of dust, the dust that dances in the light with all other dust, the dust that makes the world. So now, know that it matters that you showed up today, and go out into the world and do what makes you come alive. So may it be.
Yeah.